So yeah, my name's Angus, and I need to remove these. And yeah, I'm here from Scotland. So as much as some of the things later I talk about are delayed, it means I get to join in here. So it's yeah, it's great. I'm sitting in Edinburgh right now. So yeah, I'll get started. So sometimes people pause longer than expected, and even though I just started the sentence with self-corrections and restarts, you can all follow exactly what I'm saying as I say each and every word. And that's because humans process language incrementally, word by word, and we get to pick up on a lot of details and phenomena in language that some systems do not pick up on. So we all forget the word we're looking for example. We all lose the train of thoughts, so we'll say things like, oh, where was I going with that again? We all repeat ourselves mid-sentence, whether it's because we're just a bit nervous, or because we're just so excited to speak to all of you here. And we maybe don't do it ourselves, but we all at least know someone that adds extraneous details to their stories. And this is by no means an exhaustive list, but some of the things that we all do as phenomena in all of our language. But dialogue changes as cognition declines, and as dementia progresses, for example, forgetting the word becomes more common, and people pause more often and for longer. So we also don't just chat using words. So as an example of a Skype call, I know we're all sitting by ourselves right now. It'd be nice to be in a group. But there's pointing here, smiling. You can imagine in the conversation there'd be nodding and maybe looking confused. And you can use that information. We all use that information subconsciously. If someone nods and then we say a second thing and they look confused, we will know that the source of confusion is in what we just said. So that's really cool, but why am I telling you this? We all speak constantly with each other with all of this sort of mess, this beautiful mess in our language. But if we speak to voice assistants such as Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, Siri, we will say sentences like, Alexa, set a timer for 2 minutes, which is, filtered of all phenomena. We would never say that. I don't know, we had a great talk earlier from Raid. If I said, Raid, set a timer for 2 minutes. It's very robotic. It's not sort of normal conversation. I'd say, oh, my hands are wet. Do you mind chucking a timer on for, I don't know, a couple minutes? And these sort of utterances mess current systems. Sorry. But people, older adults and people with cognitive impairments who maybe are not used to these systems have not changed the way they speak to these systems, because we interact the same way throughout our entire lives. People have to sort of adapt to the system, so we should try and adapt the system to these users instead to make them more accessible. We have an aging population, especially in countries like Japan. It's a lot more pronounced, and IoT devices are being built to try and ease with healthcare, try and help people live in their own homes longer, more independently. But these spoken dialogue systems need to become more natural if these users are able to use them sort of better, like be able to use them basically in their own homes, instead of having interfaces full of hundreds of buttons. So I'll try and finish up because I know I don't have that much time. I'm collecting a corpus of multimodal spontaneous conversations. So we're getting a healthy participant and someone with various types of dementia to sit down and play a game where they have sort of to collaborate through conversation. And I'm collecting the audio and the video of this. So recordings of speech from people, elicited from people with dementia, does exist, but it tends to be monologue and doesn't have that video. There are interviews, for example, but it's more memory-based questions. You just don't have that spontaneous conversation, the way that we would talk to each other and the way we would talk to some of these dialogue systems. So we're hoping to collect this, be able to show what phenomena are the most prominent, what phenomena cause the most problems in these systems, what do we need to focus on, and start looking at this visual phenomena and being able to use that to guide and suggest and assist these users and make them more accessible. We're going to analyze that data. I've sort of covered that, and currently we're doing some processing because, as I said, you know, every person does this every day. Our language is full of this phenomena, so we can use everyday recordings to try and process some of this information before we have this data. So yeah, I think that's all I sort of wanted to say in a few minutes. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, type them in, send them Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever you want. And yeah, thank you very much.